Reading from the Thus Tarot deck. It's nice to welcome back Dale Jackson, International Clairvoyant, for October 2019.
Hello everyone.
It's Dale Jackson, International Clairvoyant.
Hello Chris. I'm here again. I'm going to do a reading now for Capricorn, or the next one on after Sagittarius, because we've just done that. And I've got the Thoth deck, the cards to do them with, and I'm going to do it for a 12-month period for people of the Capricorn birthdays.
Nice one.
Okay.
Thank you, Dale.
So first of all, I'm going to just shuffle the deck. It's a Thoth deck, Aleister Crowley pack, but I don't interpret it in the way that his instructions or his book would say when you buy this deck. So this is entirely my way of interpreting the tarot, the Dale Jackson way. So I set out 12 cards in 2 rows of 6. There we go, 5, 6, they're looking good. Wheel of Fortune, Sunshine, Magician, lots of good things going on there, which we'll come to. And then the second row I put out for the aspects. Oh, there we go. Now, the first thing to look at when I'm looking at tarot is to see where the elements are. That will be fire, for instance, earth, water and air. So those 4 elements are really in my mind when I'm trying to see what's going on in this tarot reading. This is my way of doing it, the Dale Jackson way, and it won't be perhaps the way you've been learning yourselves or you've been taught by other people that are doing it. So this is entirely of my own making, and the aspects and how it works. So the first thing I do, I've got 2 rows of 6 for a 12-month period, and I start it from now where we are in the calendar, which would be Sagittarius, and I take it every month by month from there. And since we're starting with a fire sign, I'd look for fire on the first card. So there we go. We've got the phoenix rising from the flames when everything's gone into the pot and changed to gold, and then the fire rises. So that's a rebirth picture. And interestingly, with this lineup that I've just put out, the last card that I've got is, well, Death card, the Life and Death card, or Scorpio, the 8th house in the zodiac. So here we have the idea of death, and of course that's one thing we've all got that's predictable. Everybody's going to die at some point, but we've also got an embryo for birth and reproduction and life carrying on. So that card is representative of life and death. So the 8th house in the zodiac comes under Scorpio, and we've got a Scorpio picture there, little symbol. So there are lots of things going on in the cards, and people that interpret the cards, they use their intuition as well as what an instruction book might be telling you to look for. My way of doing it would be to look at where I've got fire. From the first card I can pick it up there, and I can got a bit of a lion here, which is a fire sign thing, and then I've got the sunshine, which is ruling Leo, or a fire sign. So I pick up on those sort of aspects. That's what I'm looking for. Here on this card, the sunshine is hidden behind the earth, the trees, so the sunshine's not coming through on that card, so it restricts light. It goes into a more like the dark wood, as it were, or before you come out into the sunshine again. So there's different things like that that you can look at, and what you have to know in your own mind is kind of the journey, where's it going, what's happening, and then perhaps characters that you can pull out, the lovers, the Queen of Discs, the Devil Woman or the Dark Woman, or the Hierophant, the Committee or the Board, and you can describe people and situations. This I might use and say, well, there's a character with a beard. Now beards are very fashionable at the moment, so a trend going on, it might be somebody that's in that trend, but it's also part of a committee or a board or a group of people that make decisions that affect other people. So it goes on. So the more you know about each element and what it applies to, then you can put the stories together. So the first card, the art card, is very good because it's very good for relationships and partnerships. It's a kind of kindred spirit, I always think. This double image here, it's a kindred spirit, someone that gets on very well with their partner or their partnership. Everything comes into the pot of gold, transforms things that were weak into things that are strong, and the phoenix or the eagle rises and flies off, great energy. It's on an aspect in this lineup with this card, which is the star, but it's in astrological terms. Here's the star. It would be like Aquarius, the water bearer, pouring out the water and healing and feeling for others. And the Aquarius area of the zodiac will be experimentation, diversion, things that are not kind of normal, life that expands through experimentation and doing things differently. So fringe areas, fringe groups, and so on. And also it's the groups that might fight for altruistic values. So that's a good card. And at some point it'll come to maybe a crowd gathering and some sort of protest meeting over something. It might be climate change or some animal that wants saving or something like that. Now the Wheel of Fortune, the second card, is a lovely card because it's got a gold ring on it. So that's always good for commitment. It's the Wheel of Fortune, so it's lucky turns of events. Signing up, joining up, keep what goes round comes round, and fortune being good fortune. So it's saying, well, things are coming together. You can commit or bind things or make a promise that's binding and put a gold ring on the finger. So you can use all elements like that to describe something as a lucky, happy time, and that by being in a committed situation, good fortune will come from it. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It's on the film. It's alright.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I've got a frog. Croak, croak. Right, the third card. So we're going from December, January, February time. Now, of course, we've got Valentine's Day in February, and interestingly in this lineup we've got it on an aspect with the lovers. So we've got Valentine's Day, February, and incidentally you probably get a lot of Scorpio babies from relationships from February. You see, this is when 9 months on from Valentine's Day we get a increase in the population, shall we put it like that. So there'll be a lot of Scorpios around, probably conceived in the middle of February. So there you go. Now we've got this Hierophant card, and of course it's a kind of, like I call it, the committee with the hierarchy. A person at the head of what might be a group of people. It could be just a meeting, a business meeting, or it could be a cult, or some sort of gathering of people. It might be a coven, it might be an office, it could be anything like that, like a gathering of people. But it shows someone in control and they assume a role. See this masquerade here? These masks, it's like they take on a persona in that role within that group. So this might be somebody who is able to, or what, for yourselves, this is kind of saying, well, take on the role, be the one in charge or the leader of the group, and gather everybody around and make sure they all have the same philosophy. So that's a good card for like-minded people getting together and then living within a set of rules. So here we have a card to do with meetings or gatherings of people, and a person in a chairperson, somebody in control of a group of people, and someone that would hold a meeting together. But there's a Taurian picture here as well. We've got Taurus the bull on this card, and so it's very down to earth. It shows loyalty, so loyalty within groups would be an important thing here, and also it shows a kind of masquerade. So people are playing a part within a group, so they might have a position in terms of pecking order. But this card is saying 3 months on from now is a good time to maybe get involved in some new groups and societies of some sort, and there's an aspect further on to do with that as well, new groups and societies. But this is kind of relating to what's already in existence, and just belonging, really, belonging to a group, and finding a sort of loyalty in there with the people that you meet. Now, incidentally, it's over the Lovers card on an aspect, and Cupid with his little bow and arrow, and of course we've got Sagittarius at the moment, Sun in Sagittarius, so he has a bow and arrow, Sagittarius, hasn't he? So he's looking for a target to do with relationships. So we've got a good aspect here to do with people and coming together, even if you're from different cultures. We've got here children of different cultures getting together, or being friends with people from other cultures and societies, where there's no real boundary between white and black, for instance. And then we've got the Lovers card, so it's kind of whatever your creed or colour, there's a blessing. Sorry, I've got a frog. A blessing, and the Cupid symbol of the arrow, and love going on. So this is the Lovers, relating to everybody, whatever creed or culture, good relationships. Flirty, really, it's quite flirty. We've got the idea of a ring over here, so we've got an aspect to do with maybe making a commitment within a relationship, whether it's marriage or not. There might be an exchange of gifts or rings. And we've also got, on the other aspect of it, the idea of unusual or fringe areas of different types of relationships. So what would normally be seen as a bit odd or a bit strange or not mainstream is now coming through in this day and age now as more diversity becoming into the mainstream. So this card covers quite a lot of people and situations in how relationships are going and how they develop. We've got this good card here, the Eon, which is a time card. It's kind of saying the next Eon, which might be a 5-year period or a 10-year period. We say the Eon, oh, it's eons. It's a phrase people use to represent an unknown time. Eons ago, you might say, to relate to the past, or things that have happened in the past, and you can't put a date on it, but you know it's a long time ago. It's kind of saying eons. So this is representing eons in the future. And the way I see it, this card is quite mystical. Got the big third eye on it. You can see the eye. That kind of mystical features on the face there, or Eastern, Arabic, Eastern, Asian features. So foreign kind of cultures and influences and philosophies might be something to look into or learn about. But it's also a card to do with reproduction, and we've got a card here to do with reproduction. The embryo, it's the life and death card, it says death on it, but it's Scorpio, the 8th house, which is reproduction. Here's the Scorpio. Here's the embryo for life, but the Grim Reaper is on the card saying, well, there are endings, there are things that have come to the end of life, but then there is this embryo for new beginning, new life, sunshine, energy, things can take off in a new way. But because this card, I said, is about reproduction, we've got a pregnant lady on the aspect here, and I'm kind of looking at 3 little embryos, if you like, on the picture. So triplets, shall I say? There might be news of someone, multiple birth, twins or triplets in the course of this 12 months. And because of this card, we've got a breakthrough or experimentation, new drugs, new treatments, new remedies. So if someone's been trying to get pregnant and had trouble, there's a breakthrough area of drugs or treatment that can then come to fruition, and then we could have the birth there and the couple there. So there's an aspect in these cards about the developing new technologies and techniques in terms of reproduction. So here we have the Magician, the Magus card, and it's a master card, what I would call the master card, and it's saying you can pull anything out of the hat, you can make anything happen. You've got the skills, or use the skills that you've got to get something positive, make something happen. Or you can call on experts, other people that have skills that you need to help you get on and get forward in some way. So the Magician here represents skilled people, people that know what they're doing, people that can pull things off. It's also a card of saying, well, I can pull a veil over something if I want to. Now you see it, now you don't. A bit like the Magician. So on an aspect with Scorpio, that's a quite interesting aspect, because Scorpios have a secret side, one they don't give out, a private side to life. So the Magician and the Scorpio card together is really quite a mysterious aspect in the cards, and you know, somebody could make a good spy or keep good secrets, or be someone with confidential information, hold it close to their chest and know that whoever needs to know that they can be trusted with it. So the keeper of secrets, or the holder of confidentiality, is a good aspect in that card and that card together. The Sun card at the end here, we've got a lovely sunshine card and we've got two little angels there. So this is a really good card for happiness, for children, for spreading sunshine, and dancing for joy, and picking up life. Really, when life's been tough, it's about spreading a little bit of sunshine. And if you've come to the end of a particular phase in your own life, because we've got endings here, it's saying, well, spread a little sunshine, a new life can begin, a new phase can begin, and you know, spread that love around. It's the sunshine. It's Leo is ruled by the sun, so it's kind of in a Leo aspect. Where are we? Sagittarius, Capricorn, but Aquarius, Pisces. Well, it's a bit early for Leo, but anyway, it's saying here's the sunshine, and if you're planning a holiday, go to where it's sunny. Basically, you might live where it's sunny, you might be in the sunshine all the time, but the next card following it is saying, but you can explore. You can go to other countries, and countries you've never been to before, or places you've never been to before. Wish on this star. Let's have a world tour. Let's go and see the other side of the world. Let's go and explore something we haven't done before. And also, it's a card of charity, where you might want to give to others that are less fortunate than yourself, and be altruistic in some way by helping other people and putting something back into life and into society. It's also a good card for things to do with alternative therapies. So we might get crystal healing, or something to do with Reiki, or different spiritual philosophies and so on that you can find out about or learn about. So it's a great card of exploration, and you might find an enlightened path, a way forward for yourself that you hadn't discovered yet, or thought, well, that's not for me. Well, now you might find something and you say, I can go along with that, that's the better one for me. So look at different ways culture works. Here we've got the Queen of Wands, sitting on her throne, holding court, looking very regal. So that shows a lady of in an important position. She's not going to change. She's a leopard here, so she's not going to change her spots. She's in authority. She's radiant and she's glowing, and she's a lady, a very creative personality and very warm. And this is feminine, so it's the Queen of Wands. We've got now there's something good here. We've got the gold ring, the lady, the diversity, and the lovers. So that's something to do with relationships. Might be just all female. getting together in the diversity areas of partnerships, for instance. But it shows great creativity and a lovely warm personality, and a warmth that comes through with the Lovers card or relationships. And we've got lots of little lions and tiger things around on these cards. In the beginning it's lost its spirit a bit as this tiger, but it's obviously got hot now, and it's got warm, and it's warmed up, and we've got a lot more going on that's positive. So the Lovers card is here with Cupid with his bow and arrow, and of course we're in Sagittarius now, so we've got the bow and arrow thing going on, and targeting people or your next challenge in relationships. But it's saying, you know, love is in the air. It doesn't matter what creed or colour, different groups of society coming together. So if you're in a relationship now, it might be a time to get serious. We've got a hermit picture in there. Get serious about relationships. But you've got an interfering lady coming up, someone who's putting her foot down very firmly, growing her horns, and doesn't like the idea. So here we've got this Princess of Wands. Like I said, she's very stubborn. She can't see the light, she can't see the wood for the trees. She's growing her horns, so she's a little devil woman. She's immovable, she's not very flexible. But there is an idea of this card with that one above it, and these cards ahead. It's kind of saying she might be a little bit cautious. I think if she's pregnant, she might be cautious, because there might have been difficult pregnancies in the past, or she might have lost a child, something like that, before it's come to full term. So cautiousness in aspects of pregnancy or reproduction. But it is positive in the end. We've got the Sun, although it's uncertain at the beginning. But Time, old Father Time here, the Hermit, he's saying, well, looking in the past, there might have been difficulties or restrictions or whatever, but we now have the skills, we've got the expertise that you can draw on, and this pregnancy here can come to life because of the diversity and the exploration or the new drugs and treatments that have been possible in this day and age. So the Hermit here, in his wisdom, is saying, well, whatever the limitations have been, and the experiences have been, there's a brighter future. But you learn by going through these things how to get a better result in the future. And then we've got the Scorpio one at the end, and it's saying keep things to yourself. Don't necessarily brush things under the carpet, but keep things confidential, close to your chest, and look out for the snakes in the grass. Look out for those who want to get underneath and find out what you're all about or whatever. And also, by the same token, if somebody wants to look into what your life is all about, and it's confidential to you, by the same token, it's saying you can look into their life. It's a two-edged sword. But it's saying it's a web of intrigue if it's opened up, is really what I'm saying. And I want it to, well, it links with that card, this what I call Devil Woman, the darkness on the card. So it's saying here, and in life in general, if somebody has a dark secret that might be to do with their love life or their history, it's saying, well, you know, you're in charge, you're the magician. Your choices, your actions are what will bring it out or keep it in. So you're in charge to keep things of the past away from the future and so on. But sunshine is ahead, and really good fortune is coming from that. That end Scorpio card or life and death card is saying, well, all sorts of things come to their natural endings, their natural phases, where things die down or die out, and then a new thing happens, or rebirth happens, and clears out all those skeletons in the cupboard and so on. So it's saying sunshine, success, and close things down. Don't look at that past. Get a start, a new start, and use all your skills to go forward with that. So there you go.
Thank you very much, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
For your tarot reading from all over the world, contact Dale Jackson International at the Dale Jackson Way at virginmedia.com.